Welcome to yet another episode of Situation Today with a Gulf Business. Our guest today is a leading name in the banking sector in the UAE. He's none other than Ajman Bank CEO, Mustafa Al Khalfawi. Welcome to our studios, Mustafa.
Thank you very much, Neesha, for having me. Thank you very much.
2024 has been a great year for Ajman Bank. In terms of milestones, profits, in a lot of other features that I would love you to shed some light on
Sure.
for our listeners and viewers.
No, sure. First of all, again, thank you very much for having us here in your studio. The beginning of the transformation journey and to apply the transformation strategy for Ajman Bank has started in 2024. And when we started the transformation journey, when we had a discussion with the board, we are really wanted to have a different milestone for the bank. The bank was in the past was known as a real estate focused bank in terms of financing, asset backed share financings, as a strategy at the past. That's really great. But we need really to go to grow further and to have a different milestones. So with that, we have really started with our diversifications. In terms of our profitabilities, in terms of our restructuring the entire setup in the bank. So what we have started is first that we have started to restructure our wholesale banking today, which contributes around 70% of the bank's bottom line. We have now into large corporate GREs across the UAE, focusing in trading sector, energy sector, conglomerates, manufacturing, industrials. Real estate also we do, finance real estate, but the quantum of the real estate has become way lesser compared to before. So 5 non-real estate deals compared to 1 real estate deals. So second factor is the financial institutions. We have grown really our book in financial institutions, and today we have really relationships across all GCC banks, plus Egypt, plus Turkey, and any other G2G countries which we have, and that's led with all leading financial institutions at these countries, plus their sovereigns, the ministries of finances, central banks, and so forth. And today, these financial institutions contributing around 15% of our asset book in the bank. And it's growing more as well with that. We are third pillar in wholesale banking is we are focusing on the governments, the Department of Finances, the whole governments across definitely the UAE. We are predominant in Ajman, given that we are an Ajman bank and headquartered in Ajman. The largest shareholder is Ajman governments. And to be relevant to the rest of the country in the UAE, to have a unique identity of Ajman Bank in the UAE. Fourth pillar is that we are also expanding a lot on our commercial banking, the mid-markets sector. And we have as well a lot of new relationships as well comes in on the bank. Fifth is the would say the family offices or the HNIs or. Second, we are strengthening as well our products capabilities. We are really investing a lot today in our transaction banking, the cash management systems, and our trade finance systems to enhance it as well to be relevant towards all of our clients. Then we go towards as well the corporate finance in terms of loan capital markets, in terms of the big syndications, the debt capital markets, sukuk issuance, and so forth. Then we're having as well the global markets, the sales, the FXs, the products. We are really enhancing our capabilities in terms of the cross-sell mindsets and to be relevant in terms of the ancillary business for our clients to be their strategic key partners. We go to the consumer banking, which today consumer as well contributes around 25 to 30% of our bottom line. We have as well expanded further in our presence in terms of the branches footprint. Now we are in all kind of Emirates in the UAE. That's number one. Number two, we are also have really revamped our SME businesses. And this is a very important sectors are not yet being really captive much by the industry due to the risk, appetite and, which has been involved. And then we go to definitely the Ajman wealth, the wealth managements, which we have our HNI clients. We are going with them with investments, offering them products as well. We are partnering as well with the leading asset managers, in the wards, in the regions, in global to be and to investing, bring in the clients to invest in the having the highest returns in terms of the funds, which has been there. So With that as well, we have continued to invest and increase the investment in our digitization. And this is a very important aspect of Ajman Bank. Today, 45% of our budgets is being consumed by IT technology and technology for the bank. We are upgrading our infrastructures, about the IT digitization, in order to continue offering, the best solutions to our clients. We are, and definitely we go to the treasury. We are also focusing a lot of enhancing the bank's related investments, the prop book in terms of the fixed income awards, the equity investments, and so forth. It's a very important element is that when we started our journey, we have promised three main key strategies, which are, we are here and we have promised our shareholders that we are here to enhance the shareholders' value. We are investing, we are expanding the client base, and we are investing on our human capital to get the best calibers from the market and investing on our existing team and the capabilities and calibers, in the bank. Today we have really attracted, we have senior leadership team from the bank. We got them from Citibank, we have got people from FAB, from MSNBD, from RAK Bank, from CBD, you name it, with the people, with the team as well in Ajman Bank. So this really mixed culture is helping a lot to add value to the institution, because in the end the institution will be the winner of this kind of mixed expertise which we have. And how we deliver the shareholders' values and client by three main S's, I say, the speed, service, and specialization. So this is really, we are focusing on that. We have done a lot so far. I'm really happy of the achievement of being done in 2024. We have enhanced our credit policies. We have really rechanged our target risk acceptance, aligned with the central bank's regulations, the new regulations as well, so that to building a very, very important foundations for the bank. This is from the business side in terms of having diversification, income across different sectors. This gives you sustainable growth for the coming years. On the other side, on the flip side, we have as well really strengthened our collection and recovery as well in the bank. With that, we have really reduced our non-performing loans from 14% to 9.9%, and it will come down further this year, inshallah, to be in a quite acceptable rate, percentage or targets for the regulators and for the market as well. And we are doing that by really having a lot of proactive, collective team and special assets team, which we have them, in the bank. And we've been able to reduce the portfolio by almost 30%, which has been able to recover in 2024. And that's really a great achievement, by the way. And this is very, very important. Still, there's a long way to go. And we have so many things as well is on our pipelines, but I would say the foundation of the bank is really, really strong and promising for the upcoming years, inshallah.
Well, that's good to hear, and it's a great start to bigger things, I'm sure. You focused on speed, service, and specialization.
Yes.
When we take these three important, which are the core values or the core drivers of your transformation strategy, how are you balancing that with innovation and customer-centric solutions? Obviously, that's one of the key trends. There's hyper-personalization, there's AI.
True.
There's so many things that are now, it's a whirlwind of things that are changing the way we do business. And so if you could shed some light on that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. See, you have touched upon the very important is innovation and AI. Today we have, the first aspect which we have done and invested in is in our mobile app. The mobile applications today for Ajman Bank has really developed a lot. And we have seen that around 38% today of our clients had been onboarded through our channels and virtual, the mobile applications on the consumer banking side. What we have done is that, number one, and that's why the rating of the mobile app in the, in Apple stores and others, the rating earlier was 3.8, now it's 4.8. So that shows, the satisfaction from the clients towards the friendly users and towards our application. But having said that, we have, as I said, looked at the speeds. We have really worked a lot on our turnaround time for the approvals in terms of our personal finance, auto finance, the credit cards, the home finance as well. Things used to take in the past couple of weeks. Today we're talking about hours, compared to it. So today the LPO of auto finance issued on the same day. to the credit cards can be delivered to the clients, within 48 to 72 hours max. It's at your doorstep, starting from applying the application through the iPad and through the channel, and then goes all the way to your credit cards. Similarly with personal finance, same day you get the approval as well. These kind of things, which is we have really invested a lot in terms of our system. Things used to be manual. Now we have partially put some systemized things. Second, we're having now working longer hours as well, to be able to accommodate the volumes which is being there as well. But we are really having the passion about what we are doing today. So with that speed, it's really being delivered to our clients, because today clients, all banks, they're offering same type of products in the market. But what really matters is how fast you reach to your clients, how fast you respond to them, and you deliver what they wanted. So this relationship also plays a key role in our, the journey in the financial institution, financial sector, the relationship. That's what the kind of service, and as I say, the specialization. That's why I have really made very, clear thoughts to the teams, and they are aware to have a strong relationship managers in front of the clients and their leaders who speaks the same language. You don't want to have a different languages, in front of the clients. So to build the trust and to build the relationship, because I see always bankers are more on advisors to the clients, more than just, a service. We are a service provider sector, but more than just applying or, or processing a client request. This kind of an advice build trust in all aspects, for the industry, because the franchise and reputation risk is very, very important to me and to the brand of Ajman Bank.
That also brings me to a very key point. You were talking, and we have touched upon, key trends that you're seeing and how the bank is leveraging these trends. What, in your opinion, would be key trends to watch out for and which would be very important to your business as well in, say, 2025 and going beyond? Just looking at sort of regional and global trends, if you can shed some light on that.
See, first of all, let me spoke about, the macro level, what we are seeing now with the new administration in the US, when Trump's, every few days there's a new announcements. Now lately with the tariff impositions as well on others. Still it's too early to say, but definitely this might have an impact on the world, economy as well about it, given that our location, we are connected between the East and West as well. And the other parties are also a key partners to the UAE. But what I'm seeing here in the region and as well in the UAE particularly, we are really sort of somehow ring-fenced to what's going on geopolitically as well. We are having really seeing a good and strong appetite from the investors globally and regionally about the economy of the region and in the UAE. And you have seen that in the last, few issuance, any IPOs happening for the last, I would say, 24 months, and the Sukuk issuance in instruments. Always we see and multiples of oversubscription, 6, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 multiples. That shows the trust of the investors on the economy and on the issuer itself. And that really gives the robust, due to the robust economy which we have in the UAE. There's a huge liquidity, in the region and in the country as well, flooding with liquidity. And and the banks, they're having a lot of liquidity, but definitely, with that, there might be a challenge is that, deployments can't be deploying at any cost, which might loosening a bit of the credit structures or the credits as well. So that's why always you have to be balanced about, yes, you have to deploy, but you have to deploy at the right credits and the right risk, accepted to the banks and of course to the central bank's regulations. And really I would say the regulators, the central bank have done a fantastic, developments for the last, I would say, few years by building a robust asset. They want to really focusing on the high quality assets in the country by applying, the credit risk management system, applying as certain regulations to ensure that the banks are really moving ahead with, robust regulations and to avoid any surprises. And it's paying off, at the moment. But definitely, the banks, when they have a huge liquidity, is burning them. It's better to deploy rather than to have it. And especially with the rate cuts is happening as well, an expectation for this year, a further 1% further cut expected by by the Feds this year. This is the expectation. Definitely, we're going to see more activities on the financing side. We might see a lot of more restructuring, more people wants to get benefit of the lower interest rates, and all of the stuff. So that's why we might see, as I said, an ease of credits. So this is might have a challenge which we might say. So always the smart institutions, they should know where they deploy and who they are partnering with. But end of the day, we are in a robust economy. The growth of the UAE, as per the forecasts of the IMF, and the GDP is growing around 4%. So to me, any institutions growing, or let me talk about Ajman Bank, growing by 4%, this is by default because they are growing with the country. What really matters is we should minimum more than doubling the 4%, because you have to focus a lot to enhance your share of wallet and enhance your market share in the country, with your clients.
In terms of how you're going to leverage these, like just in terms of your strategy,
yes,
for the year ahead, where do you see that pivoting or even getting stronger? What areas will you see yourself focus on, building on 2024's successes?
We are building a long-term partnership with our key partners, in the country, from Abu Dhabi to all the way to Fujairah, and all, whether with the large conglomerates, GREs as well, Abu Dhabi Inc., Dubai Inc., Sharjah, Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah, and so forth, and Omar Kuwait. So we are building now a strong foundations for a long-term relationship with those names, because this area was an uncapped market for Ajman Bank. And we're really entering this space in a robust manner and growing quite strong and far with them. And to be partners to those things, not just an assets and that's it. No, we are having a lot of ongoing, ancillary business, as I said, and others. So we are building them as a long-term partnership. That's number one. We are deepening our relationship again and dive to our governments and into our sovereigns as well, because as long as the UAE keep spending in the infrastructures, building up, there's a new project comes in, the whole economy will move. Every year we're seeing there's a new projects, either to airports expansions, roads, ports, whatever, and we are really as well keen as well, and we have already partnered with the key players into that fields, because this is the backbone of the country, to have a strong, I would say, the transportation side and the strong, ports, airports, whatever, to attract, investors and people comers to the UAE. We are seeing again the tourists are coming in as well quite well and increased. We have seen the hotel occupancies has been most of it stables, but the room rates has really increased. That also shows that the demands is coming into our country. Third, as I said, I spoke about real estate. Yes, it's going on stable, because we're also seeing the supply and demand. There's always a mismatch, and the beauty as well here in the UAE, supported by a strong policies, has been provided to strengthen the regime of the UAE by having revise the tariffs, to attract SMEs to open businesses and startups in the countries, supported by certain governments, in the UAE. The tariffs, the support, and also the golden visa. Today the UAE made as sort of a home to everybody, which is already and that's really beautiful. So when people comes in here opening their business or having a stable businesses over here, they are here for long. So definitely we'll bring in the families, we'll need houses to live in, they need mortgage, so the whole ecosystem will continue to move. And the UAE has been really successful, in that for the last 3 decades. And it will be also, inshallah, further succession, in the future. We have clear 2030 plans, 2050 plans, and the visions has been there. So the whole country working into the one vision of 2030 vision. So this is So the financial sectors is a key player into the whole ecosystem. So we'll definitely having a growth into a growth and another growth as well. So yeah, so this is where I see as well the future.
Well, that's good. I think a lot of successful stories also have, where you realize there are failures, little challenges that you step on to achieve the success. Now that you're on this path and moving towards, there's a very positive outlook. What in your, just looking back, would you think were the challenges that you've successfully overcome to get onto this path?
Very good question. Actually, there's no success can't happen without a failure or
Right.
without learning from the mistakes, I would say. See, our leadership has really taught us is that don't give up, don't ever give up. But you have to learn from the mistakes and to overcome those mistakes to come back stronger than before. And that's exactly what has happened, to us, I would say, maybe more or less, maybe in 2008, the global recession which started. We have seen a lot of changes in the regulations in the country at the government side as well as at the banking side. We have seen the SME or business banking sector has seen a cyclical, every 3-4 years there is a downturn towards. As well, banks learned, about not overfinancing those clients. So today, as I said, when we were transforming, we have really put all of that into our aspects. In terms of the business banking or SME, we have put the right, credit risk, as I said, acceptance in terms of securities to be whether by cash, by collateral, whatever is in there. When you grow further, there is a risk acceptance, I would say, risk approached model, which we have been made. The track records plays a key role, ownership, who's behind the businesses, and all of stuff. So we have really strengthened our credit requirements, but also to be a business enabler at the same time, not as a showstopper, but to safeguard the banks from, any, I would say, surprises, whatever, could happen. And that's really, really very, very important. As I said as well, when you think the NPL and the recoveries, today from the portfolio of the recoveries which we have done a deep dive analysis, and we sort of knew what was the key or main issues which is the bank used to face in the past, and we have totally overcome there. And I'm proud to say that 2024, there is none of our 30% new clients in wholesale banking which we brought in went bust or has been really have any difficulties. It's almost negligible, nothing. So that really shows that we are picking the right partners to work together on both sides, and that really matters as well, for the bank.
Yeah, it looks like you definitely got a vision. So for you as a leader, as the CEO, where do you see yourself playing an important role in guiding the team, or what would be your the key factors that you have in your head as you drive the team forward?
Number one is that to be always the right good role model for your team and for the team members. The leader has to be always in front, leading the team, and encourage them to catch him up. I went up one time, on the stage a year ago when I joined the bank, and I said, I am running, and who won't run with me will be left behind. Today, as a leadership, role model have to play, you have to be full of passion. My message is that be passionate about what you do. Not just a job, from 8 to 5 and then you leave the office or whatever. No. Passion is that to makes you to do 200 and 300% of what is required from you. Creativity will come, innovative thoughts and solutions will come, because passions, this is something which really makes people to go out of their way to do that. And so the passion, be a role model, and it's very important to bring in all team members together as one team, one goal, one vision, and to make the team to get their buy-in with your visions. I remember, Neesha, when a year ago, or actually 13 months ago, when I went up to the stage and I said, this year Ajman Bank will hit more than 400 million dirham of net profit. That after when we took one-time provisions and we declared our losses in 2023 to be able to come back on a sustainable and strong foundation. I have seen a question marks majority of the teams. Why 400? A bank used to make in the past 70 million, 100 million profits and losses one time on it. Into a new CEO comes saying 400 plus, more than 400. Okay, then they thought that says, really he's over, I would say, promising or whatever. But when the time started, to pass and comes in and started to see the results and started to believe in themselves, the trust came back again. They started to dream higher. There is no limitations on your dream. And when alhamdulillah, when we have hit the 440 million, today I see everybody is proud of what we have achieved because this is a team efforts. And today, actually, this year, they are even, they have a more trust as well, even the further growth on the 440 million. We are no longer people we are, we can't. No, they are believing in their capabilities. The sky is the limit. You just believe in what you do, and you will hit your goal. Dream high, you will aim high, and you will reach high. So, and that's today the culture of it, positive energy, in the institution. This is very important matters to me as a leader. And lately, I don't like closed doors policy. It's an open door policy. We are now doing a changing in our fit out to an open floor policy to everybody. Even myself, I'm going as well as a CEO. I like to be on the field most of the time. I don't like to be sitting in the offices, doesn't know what's happening, what's going on. So sometimes as well, I do a surprise, half day working from out, with the teams out there on the open floor. One day, popping into operation department, sitting within the people, the team, in the branch, whatever. But no one knows when I come, whatever. So yeah, a normal half day. I would like to have this kind of engagement as well with the team. So these are a simple methodologies for me as a leader. They have to, whoever is working hard, they're having our support as a leader. There's no, stabbing from the back, stabbing from behind, which is gossips, whatever. The successful institutions, and happens within. And, any fallen institutions happen within. If you start to have different conflicts, negative competitions, all of that, end of the day, institutions will be impacted negatively with that. So as a leader, I have to ensure that everybody is driving on the same directions, all together, as a one goal. So yeah, so this is what I am, as Mustafa.
What I see is you're agile, you're open, and that is how the bank will also be seen, because you then become the face of the bank.
Yes.
And I wish you all the luck. It seems like it's paying dividends, so we look forward to hearing bigger things so much on bank.
Yes, definitely. This is our aim.
Just as a parting note, a lot of Emiratis will look up to you, especially who are entering, starting their careers. And I know banking and finance is a preferred career for many nationals. What sort of advice would you give young men and women as they start their career in finance?
Whoever is starting their career in finance and this, be hungry for information, for learning, because the journey is always a continuous learning. There's non-stop. And more you give, more you get. Work hard, work really, invest on yourself, because you are an asset to yourself and to the institution. And don't let anyone let you down. Believe in your capabilities, believe in what you can deliver, and get someone as a role model for you, and have this kind of, and follow a leader. Always when you have a role model and successful leaders, this also gives people, the enthusiastic and, and the ambitious as well to reach one day as that person. So early in the career, I remember when I started, I faced negative people. They were trying to let me down. People were scared from their chairs that I'm coming one day to take over their place. And I found other people who were encouraged me, to keep running and, and took my hand to show me the way. So my advice is, again, stay away from people who are negative or letting you down. Go with the people who are really gives you the right encouragements, this is very important. But it's, and most important advice to the people standing in finance, find again your passion. What is really area which is really you see you can give. don't just, again, stay for a job because of the sake of a job. You will not reach anywhere. With passion, you will reach, beyond what you believe into.
Well, thank you, Mustafa. I think
Thank you,
that's
Neesha.
a great way to, great parting note as well. And I look forward to welcoming you to our studios to tell us more about Ajman Bank's milestones in
Sure.
the quarter and in the year ahead.
Looking forward.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you to our viewers and listeners for joining us. For more news, go to gulfbusiness.com or read our magazines. Thank you.